Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. Good morning. Today, I want to talk about Bitcoin, of course, and what's going on around the world. Specifically, what's been going on with the broader market, the stock market, with GameStop, AMC, and all these other guys. And I think it's a precursor to Bitcoin's next explosive move. And I think there's many reasons why it's going to lead up to this explosive move. And that is what today's stream is all about. So I know a lot of people have been paying attention to the news, looking at what's going on with GameStop and AMC and now all these other retailers, Bed Bath & Beyond, Cost, Express, they're all exploding up. And there's a reason behind it, actually a couple reasons why, right? And it does show you that the power of the people is powerful. And basically, they're saying a big FU to Wall Street. So I do believe that is going to help things in the future, especially for Bitcoin and crypto. And I'm going to explain why, which is why today's video is titled Bitcoin's Next Explosive Move. The bull run caused by retail investors. So thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, I have these streams at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you tune in. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of my live streams. And I do have a lot of live streams. Besides the morning ones, I've been having them at night too. And quite frankly, the night ones are actually doing a little bit better. I think a lot of you guys enjoy the night ones, so I may be doing more of that in the future. All right, so let's get started. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Those of you guys that are already here in the chat, let me change my screen. And okay, here we go. So bear with me here. I know most of you guys are here for crypto news, not for stock news, not to hear about GameStop, but I'm trying to make a point. GameStop has been on an absolute tear for basically a month now, but things have really accelerated the last few days because you have guys like Elon that jumped in and Chamath that also jumped in. Chamath even openly said he bought some call options on GameStop for February. So as you see, there's a lot of people jumping in. And the thing is, for those of you guys that isn't aware, right? For me, I was kind of the same thing. I'm like, this is usual pump and dump. If you look at what's actually happening, though, why this is happening, it's not because traders or investors, they really believe in the fundamentals of GameStop. No, it's nothing like that at all. It's because of their hate towards hedge funds, shorters, and Wall Street, right? Ultimately, if you go to the Reddit forum that is talking about this, basically, they're doing this as a big FU to Wall Street because there are a lot of hedge funds out there that likes to play their whalish games. I always talk about whalish games, right? We're seeing it with Bitcoin right now. You know, they play their whalish games. They cause a lot of selling pressure. They short the hell out of a stock or a company, right? Hoping to bankrupt them or to do a hostile takeover or to buy shares at a lower price. And a lot of these companies have shorts that are over 100%. GameStop is one of them. And guess what? A group of people on Reddit decided to do something about it. They decided to say, hey, we're going to stand up against these guys and we're just going to buy and hold and buy and hold. And you know what? They started it. Other people started doing it. Other people started doing it. And now you have this group of people that is just all gung-ho about basically killing the hedge funds. I think Melvin Capital is the biggest one. You know, it was reported that they had to take a $4 billion loss by selling covering their short options, short calls. It's insane. They had to actually borrow money to be able to cover all their shorts. And supposedly they sold out, but there's rumors that they really didn't, and they're just bleeding out. And the reason why Elon joined in on the mix is because Melvin is also one of the biggest hedge funds that shorts against Tesla. So Elon decided to jump in, right? So the whole point of this is you have kind of like a mob mentality where you have a group of people They're all thinking alike. They believe in something and they're pushing forward. And that's why GameStop has gone up to the moon, right? And now they're looking at other retail stores that have been really doing bad, with the pandemic and all. And a lot of them are closing down. And again, hedge funds are shorting the hell out of them, right? But now these people are jumping into other companies and their stocks, like for example, AMC, which AMC has quadrupled since yesterday. And I've been watching it, and other retailers like Express, Cost, Bed Bath and Beyond, and others, they're all exploding, and their stock keeps getting halted. And all the brokerages are down because there's so many people that's trying to trade them right now, right? But the point of this is you have this like mob mentality, this cult-like mentality, and they're doing this to prove a point that yes, they can affect change, right? That Wall Street doesn't dominate everything, that retail investors can get it right, and all the analysts and technical guys and strategists, they don't know what the hell's going on. I spent all morning watching CNBC and they couldn't stop talking about this. Non-stop, every 5 minutes, they're bringing someone on to talk about GameStop. And basically, they're all baffled, right? They're like, if you're a technical person, it doesn't make any sense. If you're a fundamentalist, it doesn't make any sense. Nothing really makes sense right now other than you have a group of people that really just, they believe in it, and they hate the shorters so much. They just keep piling on because they really want to see Melvin and other hedge funds basically go belly up. That's ultimately what it is, right? So my point of this is, right, when you have a group of people like that, it's basically unstoppable. And guess which community has people or followers like that? Of course, I'm talking about Bitcoin, and on a broader scale, crypto in general, right? Some of the most loyal people out there are Bitcoin bugs and crypto bugs, right? Even on some of the altcoins that have not been doing well, like for example, XRP, you still have the XRP army that believe in them wholeheartedly, and they'll never get off the bandwagon. It's the same thing with Bitcoiners, and the same thing with people that believe in Ethereum, and people that believe in a variety of other crypto, right? So I do believe this is very, very powerful. Right now, we know that Bitcoin is primarily driven up by institutional investors, right? But that started because the retail investors held strong. The retail investors always bought the dips, hodled, and they didn't care what happened to Bitcoin. They didn't care that it went from $20,000 down to $3,000. What they did was buy more of it and hold on more because they believe in the message. They believe in Bitcoin, and basically they believe in a big FU to the banks and central banks and governments of the world, right? So retail investors are the ones that really held on, caused Bitcoin to go up. We know institutions are now FOMOing in, right? But the next wave is more retail investors that's going to be jumping in because they're going to be noticing what's going on. A lot of them will FOMO in, but a lot of them will join the cause, right? So that's why the next move for Bitcoin, I believe, is going to be explosive. I know we've been seeing explosive moves. Of course, we shot up to 42,000 recently. Now we're down, hovering about 30,000, but still, we're 50% higher than previous high at $20,000, right? And I think this is just the beginning. Just the beginning as Bitcoin moves higher and higher and higher, as institutions FOMO in more, right? Retail investors will come in and join the cause and basically say, hey, F you central banks and F you governments for printing out unlimited amount of money with no consequence, right? We are here to do something about it and to change the landscape, right? So I think overall this is what's interesting. I know a lot of people just care about GameStop and all these pumps right now because they're pumped. The people just want to make a quick buck. But if you actually really look at why they're happening now, maybe it's just inadvertently, but still the amount of conviction and dedication to them is really due to their hatred for hedge funds and shorters and Wall Street. Not so much because they really believe GameStop is a $30 billion company or a $100 billion company pretty soon. It's more because of that, and that's powerful when you have a group of like-minded individuals that will simply not let go because they believe in the cause. And Scaramucci from Skybridge also believes in the same thing. So he's like, GameStop investing is actually proof of concept for Bitcoin's success. Yes, this is what I just got done saying. You know, Bitcoin, the only reason why Bitcoin survived for the last 11, 12 years without any kind of true adoption, without any kind of real clarity or direction or anything like that, is because of people like you and I and others that have led the way, that have simply believed in the cause and kept going forward and forward and forward. So I mean, it's kind of really a mind opener, and people on Wall Street just really don't know what to think of it. They just don't. You know, hedge funds are losing billions upon billions of dollars, and before the end of this, we're going to see a lot more basically go bankrupt because they got greedy. They got caught with their pants down. They haven't seen something like this before, and it's quite amazing, And it's kind of the same thing with Bitcoin already, right? Because of how fast it moved up in 2020. But I think that's only the beginning. Once Bitcoin really starts moving, hits 6 digits above $100,000, where it's basically too big to be ignored. I think you're going to see the same kind of mentality. More and more people are going to come in and say, hey, I'd rather hold Bitcoin than cash. I'd rather invest in Bitcoin than gold. And you're going to have a huge shift in just thinking about money overall. And I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, are there any good news right now with Bitcoin? Well, yes, there are. There always seems to be good news. So I know I've covered Grayscale quite a bit, right? Their Bitcoin Trust. Well, those of you guys that are in Canada now, you'll have something equivalent. There is a new Bitcoin Trust that's only opening in Canada, and they are by 9 Point Partners. Okay, so this will be traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and right now they are actually offering an IPO for roughly about $180 million. So 9 Point co-CEO, managing partner John Wilson referred to the move as the largest initial public offering of a Bitcoin investment fund in Canada to date. So this is obviously very positive. Once this gets going, people in Canada will be able to invest in Bitcoin Trust, at least for now, right? And hopefully this will also drive things up a lot more. I'm guessing there's a lot of players, a lot of institutional investors in Canada that's been waiting for this to happen for a very, very long time. So this is definitely going to help Bitcoin's future. All right. So besides this, what else is there? Well, Plan B posted this. He's like, hey, relax, guys. Those people that are worried about what's going on with Bitcoin, you know what? Ignore all the FUD. Just look at the stock to flow model, the S2F. And if you look at this, yeah, it's basically we're right on track. I think the problem is when you look at things on day to day, or even minute by minute, right? You tend to freak yourself out because there will be a lot of movements up and down. But when you zoom out and you look at things over a course of years rather than minutes or hours or days, you'll notice that everything is right on track. And what we're seeing right now is very much like what we saw in 2016 leading to 2017. Yes, there was a lot of volatility in 2017. It wasn't just straight up to the moon, but it looks like we're right around there, the point where things do go parabolic, right? So I do think we're still right there. And stock to flow has, you know what, since the inception of this, it has been right. So we will see. And this next point up is 100,000, and you can see last time it was at 10,000 and went up a little bit higher. So if we go up a little bit higher, who knows where that's going to be by the end of 2021 going into 2022. All right. What else is there? Well, this last thing I want to show you guys, Bitcoin held by publicly traded companies have surged 400% in 12 months to $3.6 billion, right? So I just got done saying retail investors kind of carry the ball. Now the publicly traded companies and institutions are carrying the ball. Publicly traded companies, of course, MicroStrategy and others, right? They've been buying a ton of Bitcoin, and institutions have been buying a ton of Bitcoin. So the ball's kind of in their hands right now. They have really pushed things higher, right? But the next leg in this marathon is really the retail investors. You know, that ball will be passed back to the retail investors, and you're going to see an influx of massive amount of money coming in, especially when the government's just handing it out to everyone. So I've always said that with all these stimulus packages, with this new one was $1.9 trillion. This is on top of the whatever amount that was already approved, I think $900 billion, and on top of whatever was approved in 2020. I mean, this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money that's flowing out to people, right? Whether or not people are really utilizing it or they're utilizing it to invest, we don't know, right? I don't know what the breakdown is, but we do know, based on what we're seeing from GameStop and from all these other pumps, there are a lot of individuals that are quite wealthy and they're really looking to invest their money, and they're going to invest in a cause. They're going to invest more into a cause than fundamentals or technicals. They want to do something, right? And in case of GameStop, it's because they want to take down the shorters. They want to take down the Melvin Capitals of the world, right? And it's going to be the same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created to take down central banks. You know, that's a hard thing to achieve. But as we saw in 2020 and even 2021, it's getting closer and closer to that. More and more people believe Bitcoin can now actually do that, when just a few years ago that seemed like an impossibility, right? So this is the cause of Bitcoin, and not only the central banks, but to get rid of any, I don't know, credit card companies, right? Or any banks in general, or payment processors that have all been very, very restrictive. They don't allow you to do what you want with your money. They ask a whole lot of questions, right? And frankly, it's expensive and sometimes very slow. And Bitcoin is basically going to destroy all of them. And crypto will be a big part of that too, not just Bitcoin, right? So the last thing I want to talk about is, I got to talk about it, you know, with a day like this where most things are in red, there are two that are not in red that's very noticeable. And they have been basically pumping to the moon, pretty much like GameStop. And that's Uniswap and AAVE. I've been talking a lot about them because people keep asking about it. But overall, I talked about them in the past too, where if you're looking at DeFi coins, I know a lot of people think, oh, they're already too big. I'm going to search for the next DeFi thing. A lot of these new projects, yesterday I spent a good amount of time just looking at random projects. Ones that have been going up quite a bit and ones that people have talked about. And almost 100% of them are all in DeFi. And a lot of them are in like synthetic tokens, synthetic items, digitizing items, stuff like that, that I'm not really a fan of. But yeah, I know a lot of people are looking into the next big DeFi. But if you look at what's going on with Uniswap and AAVE, you can't ignore that they are basically dominating right now. And Uniswap continues to go up. Even on a day like today where most things are down, they're still up 15%, and AAVE is still up 10%. So these two, I mentioned in my yesterday's stream, I do think that these are good holds. I think they can be in the top 10 pretty soon, especially when everything is falling down and they keep going up, right? So I did want to talk about that real quick. And overall, BTC Dominance is still low. And I think this is a good thing. This is a very good thing. And the reason why I say that is not because I'm trying to get off the BTC, bandwagon. No, not that at all. It's just that we have gone through so many up and downs, and I've studied this so much. And every time Bitcoin has a big fall, right, you have mass panic, and then you see altcoins fall exponentially more, right? So previously, you would see, say, like Bitcoin down 3% in a day. You would see Ethereum down 10%. And you would see others down 10, 15, 20%. I mean, there would be mass panic, overall, right? It has always been like that. So ever since even 2013, 2014, then moving to 2017, 2018, 2019, and even early 2020 when Bitcoin fell, right? When Bitcoin fell, everything fell, and they were falling much quicker than Bitcoin. But the very fact that right now Bitcoin is showing weakness, but altcoins are not showing more weakness. It's more equal playing field. And you have some alts like DeFi stuff that's actually holding against Bitcoin's fall. That's actually pretty powerful. That shows that right now the holders' mentality is strong. That you don't have mass panic. People are not panicking right now. People continue to hold because they believe in the project or the cause, right? So despite the fact there might be some whale-ish games going on in terms of some manipulation going on, people are not really falling for it. To some extent, yes, because things are going down, but they're not urgently mass panicking and basically liquidating everything like before. And that's why you saw a lot of altcoins just like fall like a rock. And that's why traditionally before, when Bitcoin gets weak, you see BTC Dominance climb up really, really fast. Like really, really fast. And right now you're not seeing that. So I think overall that's very positive. Shows how the community overall have trained themselves to not fear the FUD, to actually look at the bigger picture. And I think that's also very positive. That's very positive indeed. All right. I'll turn it back to you guys now for some Q&A. I'm pretty sure pretty soon we're going to hear Michael Saylor say that he picked up some more Bitcoin. Last time he picked up some Bitcoin around 31,000. He picked about $10 million worth, which is really small compared to his overall holdings. But I have no doubt he's dollar cost averaging. A lot of other people are. And I'm still looking forward to that big event that's happening. Bitcoin for corporations. That's happening next week. I think this will still be very, very explosive. I don't think anyone's have given up on Bitcoin right now. Even temporarily, I think a lot of retail investors may have cashed out because they want to play in these pumps like GameStop and AMC and all these other guys. At least some, I am speculating some have. But the reason why they continue to really go up is because of that cause. That a lot of people in it not only are in it to make money, and they have made a lot, but because they really want to basically screw up Wall Street, screw up the way they're thinking, and screw up the way they have behaved, right? And Bitcoin will do that. It will do that. We need more time because what Bitcoin is trying to overthrow is the central banks, and that's a much harder task. So it's go get there, but it's going to take a little time. But regardless, we have such a good community base. This is not ever going to go away. And I think it's going to carry Bitcoin to the moon, basically. Longo, I don't even know how to say your name. Thank you for a super chat. Have you heard of Kleros? It was on ETH CEO radar a while back. Kleros? You mean Vitalik? Well, they have not been doing that well recently. An open online dispute resolution platform bringing justice for all. Yeah. I doubt Vitalik was looking at this. So it doesn't look very interesting to me. It's like that other company that's trying to be like PayPal. Decentralized PayPal. I forget the name, but that's not gonna fly with crypto. Frank, appreciate that. Was there another super chat I missed? No. I did not low roller. Just because they're pumping does not mean it's a good idea to get in. They have gone up way too much. And you know that it's going to come down eventually. But who knows? Maybe it'll carry it much further. But, you know, in the meantime, it's going to destroy a lot of hedge funds. That's for sure. You know, this morning I talked about, I watched CNBC, you know, all these pundits and analysts, and they say they've been talking to some of these hedge funds, and they're bleeding out of their nose. They can't believe this is happening. And they have to sell a lot of their other longs to kind of make up for their shorts. So I think in the end, it's going to teach Wall Street a big lesson, you know, not to be greedy, not to be over shorting a company like GameStop where there's over 100% shorts. I don't even know how that works, but it does. And that is the reason why when you have a lot of short coverings, yeah, you go see you go see things driven up like that really, really quickly. Dan, I just got done saying that. I mean, yes, a lot of people, I think the people that started it really is because they believed in that cause, right? That's the whole point of this stream. You have a group of people that believed in the cause, regardless of the fundamentals, regardless of the technicals. They believed that, yes, first of all, some may have believed that GameStop should stay around, but others just simply hated the fact that hedge funds and shorters just kept hammering on them, basically causing them to go belly up, right? And not just GameStop, all the other retailers. We know retailers, you know, they're struggling because of the likes of Amazon online shopping, and also because of the pandemic. They really couldn't allow customers in, right? But Wall Street took advantage of that. They kept leveraging and kept buying more shorts to cause their demise to happen even faster. And people decided to take a stance, right? And they really wanted to just like, you know, destroy some of these Wall Street companies, which at the time seemed like impossible, but GameStop kept going up and up and up and up. And that's exactly what they're doing. A lot of these hedge funds like Melvin may go belly up because of their shorts. Now, it's been reported that they covered their shorts, but I don't think so, because if you look at a short interest, it's still extremely high in GameStop because a lot more hedge funds are now piling on more shorts while it keeps going up, right? So who knows where it's going to end, but it's too dangerous to get in right now. But the whole point is when you have a group of people that really believe in a cause, that's powerful, and that's not going to go away anytime soon. And it's the same thing, you know, everyone's talking about GameStop right now. It's the same thing with Tesla. That is why Tesla has not come down. It kept going up and up and up and up, and everyone said that it's impossible. Everyone piled on the shorts, and as they did that, Tesla kept going up and up and up. It's the same kind of thinking. It's that mob mentality, that almost cult-like following that believe in it so much, regardless of what anyone says, and they're just driving it to the moon. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. Right now, yes, we may be seeing some manipulation and weakness, but this kind of mentality is going to push Bitcoin up. And you know what? The next explosive move, I think, is here. It's going to be here very, very soon, right? Not only are the institutions right now FOMOing in, but soon when retail investors really come in and really believe in what's going on, then you go see accelerate, and that's when the explosive moves is really going to happen and follow afterwards. So, yeah, it's quite powerful. It's quite powerful. Everyone's trying to figure out the next ancient or dead retail store that's going to be pumped. I don't know, because even this morning too, CNBC brought on the former SEC like attorney or something, and people are and that guy's like, the SEC is gonna go after people. But one of the analysts was pressing like, how can you go after people? It's just a bunch of people that believe in something, right? How could you go after them? They're not manipulating. It's no different than anyone else jumping on CNBC and saying whether or not they like something or don't like something, right? And the SEC guy couldn't really answer it because it's true. When you have a group of people that's simply talking about something and causing it to go up because they believe in it and they're buying it, there's no manipulation. It's just that's how it is, right? Market dictates. They always say that market dictates what something should be worth, right? Regardless of P ratio or any of that, right? If they think that GameStop is worth $30 billion, then it's worth $30 billion. So it's the same thing. If we think Bitcoin is worth $1 million, it's go to $1 million, regardless of what the strategists or analysts or chartists or technical people say. If we believe Bitcoin is worth $1 million, it's go get to $1 million. It may take some time, but it's go get there, right? It's just that's the power of the people, I guess, right? People can change things. Yeah, I bet all retail stores like Macy's, I don't know if Lord and Taylor is still around, but I bet a lot of them are going to be pumped. And you know what? All these, here's the thing, because it's a vicious cycle, right? So all these hedge funds, they'll have to just basically cover their shorts. And by doing that, it's going to cause all of them to go up. So it's an interesting thing. I have no doubt that Elon already owns BTC, and I'm thinking he may show up for this, right? I honestly think I don't know if it's going to be public. I don't know if they're going to reveal who actually registered, but you know what? Elon already responded to Michael Saylor, right? So who knows? They may have that. They may have had that conversation already over a phone, which I think they did, but who knows? He might show up to this or have someone from Tesla show up to this, at least attend and watch all this, right? So, I mean, it would really not be surprising that Elon already owns Bitcoin and he's going to declare that Tesla buys some Bitcoin with their reserve currency. That would not surprise me at all. I think that's coming sooner than later. And also with Apple too, with Apple Pay. I think my chat got stuck, or you guys are not talking. I think the chat got stuck. There we go. It's back. It's back. Roger asked, George, Friday's the last Friday of the month. Do you see another dump coming? The thing about Bitcoin futures expiration, that has gone out the window. That doesn't really apply anymore. Maybe it's coming back. Maybe it's not. I think right now what's happening is basically a lot of short-term things are happening. Right now, you got a lot of retail investors that may be selling because they want to participate in these crazy pumps in the stock market. That's number one, short term. Also, there are a lot of DeFi coins that's also going up, right? Like Uniswap and AAVE and Synthetic and some others, they're going up. It could be that there's a little bit of profit taking from Bitcoin to put into those altcoins too, right? And I think there's a lot of basically manipulation that's going on by the whales. Again, trying to do their thing, right? Trying to fear people out so that you would sell your Bitcoin to them, right? So that they could pick up their Bitcoin cheap. I think that is also going on. There's a number of things, but ultimately, like I said, this notion that a group of people that believe in something and they will continue to buy and hold that asset is powerful. And we already have that Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not going to go away anytime soon. It will always be held by people. And if the people declares it's worth $1 million, it will get there. It will get to $1 million, right? But in the meantime, we may see periods like this, but we know that there's really nothing to worry about because, companies, institutions, I just got done talking about Bitcoin for corporations. They continue to have fascination with Bitcoin. They want to buy Bitcoin up, right? And also, we're going to have new products, such as this new Bitcoin trust that will be opening up in Canada pretty soon. So this will be a competition to Grayscale. I don't know if you could buy like GBTC in Canada, but if you can't, now you could buy this one, right? I would be fine, Blade Runner. I have no problem surviving another 3 years. Sam L, which super chat I missed? Let me go back. Oh, Jonathan, what can I learn from blindly buying XLM last week? What can you learn? You tell me, Jonathan. What can you learn? I mean, your declaration right there, blindly buying, pretty much says it all. You should never blindly buy something. You should realize why you're buying. So, do you love XLM? If so, why did you buy? Right? Like you have to have some reason. Do you have faith in XLM? Do you like Jem McCaleb? Do you like, sticking into XRP? What is your reason? The Reddit gang is a very different animal. Very different animal. If you look at the Reddit, thread for Bitcoin and crypto, right? Those are the type of people that, for the most part, are very a-holes. But, they know what they're talking about. You got some intelligent people on there. And it's weird because you have like a group of people that's like social media people that only hang out on Twitter, right? You have also people that hang out on Twitter and also YouTube. But I find like at least for my audience, my YouTube people are not really my Twitter people, right? There's a lot of people on Twitter that just wants to talk to me, but they never watch any of my videos. It's the same thing with Reddit. You have Reddit people that really don't watch YouTube or stay on Twitter. They kind of just stay in their own bubble, right? But ultimately, all three of these, they believe in Bitcoin. They believe in crypto, right? And that's what you want. You want that group of people that really believe in something. Whether or not their views are the same, it doesn't matter. If you have that same belief, the same faith in something, right? The same conviction, then ultimately that's what's going to carry things. Yeah, I don't like Twitter at all. I mainly use Twitter to just post my videos on so people can get notified. I try to stay off Twitter. There's just too many people. There are too many entitled people or too many just a-holes on Twitter that just really want to bring you down. And you could see it all the time, right? So I try to stay off of Twitter. So in case some of you guys have been trying to like reply to me on Twitter, I generally don't check it. Jonathan replied saying, my statement implied I have no knowledge in the game. That's why I'm here now. Pick up some advice on what not to do. Well, you're in the right place, but I don't like the statement that you said that you just basically picked up XLM on a whim. That's not the way to do it in crypto. So overall, I'm neutral on XLM to answer your question. They pumped up a little bit because XRP had weakness and also because the Ukrainian government asked the Stellar team to help them develop a stable coin for the central bank. But outside of that, I don't see anything else going on right now with Stellar. I used to be big on Stellar because they were involved with IBM, with WorldWire, with a lot of things that's going on with IBM. But IBM has transited it into their own thing, mostly with Hyperledger. And Stellar, I just don't know. I don't know what they're working on, really. I don't know what their future plans are. and they are inflationary, right? And I do think they could be SEC target after the XRP lawsuit. So I'm just kind of neutral on Stellar, not bullish on Stellar. I think there's much better pickups at this point. So that's my thoughts on it. Thoughts on Zilliqa? Zilliqa, I don't know. I don't have much opinion about Zilliqa. Zilliqa, I mean, I got off their bandwagon because their CEO and CIO left the project, and then they kind of did their own thing, did other things. So, I don't know. I mean, supposedly they have sharding done already. That's what Ethereum is trying to do with 2.0. But yeah, I kind of got off the bandwagon when two of the founders left the project. I think that tells you something, right? So I haven't really kept up with them recently. Now, yesterday's stream, I did mention, recently I've been looking more into altcoins. And yesterday I did a deep dive on a lot of them. But one that I mentioned in my stream yesterday is Theta. I think they're doing very, very good things. I was actually quite surprised how much they have accomplished within the last few years. And their dual token setup, Theta and T-Fuel, they're both pretty good. Theta have created incentive to hold both of them, so that's pretty good, right? Unlike where you have like Neo and Gas, there's really no reason to hold on Gas, while Theta is trying to correct that with T-Fuel. But yeah, there's a few others, like there's a few other altcoins I've been looking at, but the problem is almost all of them are DeFi, and they're trying to create something that I don't think needs to be created, but because DeFi is so hot right now, they're getting hot. For example, synthetic items, synthetic tokening, where you can create a token off of another token that has no rights and no purpose other than for trading. And you could do so without even owning the underlying asset. So you can say tokenize Litecoin. You could tokenize a new Litecoin, one that doesn't have any power at all. You can't stake it for voting or anything. You're just creating it for the sake of creating it and trading it, right? But you could also do it with stocks, I guess with oil or whatever. But there's a lot of companies that's coming out with synthetic stuff, synthetic trading or synthetic derivative trading and all this stuff. And I just don't think that people know what they're actually getting involved with. People are just getting in because it's the next cool thing and it looks great, but I don't like the direction that they're going in. But we'll see. Kind of like yield farming, right? Yield farming got really popular once upon a time, and then it got really not popular really fast because there was a lot of scams and stuff, right? It's kind of like that. My chat keeps freezing up on me. I don't know why. So I'm missing a lot of the chat that you guys are saying. It keeps getting stuck. AB says don't sleep on privacy coins. I don't like any privacy coins at all because they're going to all be delisted in the near future. So I don't like them at all. Yeah, when Litecoin gets Mimblewimble, if it ever does, that's going to be more harmful to them than good. And Charlie Lee knows that. That's why Mimblewimble, I think, will never be implemented on Litecoin because of that. He has stated, go look at his interviews from like a few years ago when he talks about Mimblewimble. And then he talks about how basically he's afraid of implementing it because of government crackdown and exchanges delisting privacy coins. He have openly stated that, and people just kind of ignore it. He have said that years ago, and I've said that. That's why Mimblewimble will probably never be done, because he already knows if he wanted to, he could have got it done years ago. So that's the thing. That's why I also don't like privacy coins, because one by one, they're all being delisted. So pretty soon, it's going to be pretty hard. I don't really have any opinion about Elon. I liked them before because their founders are investors in Binance, so they have a close connection there. They have a good protocol, but besides that, you know, they have a lot of the same thing that other people have. So I don't know. I'm kind of neutral on them at this point. Well, I don't think anyone forgot that. I don't think anyone forgot that. So, and I think even that is a lie. I don't think Charlie Lee actually sold all of it at all-time high. He said it was a conflict of interest and he sold it all, but the foundation is run by Litecoin that he's selling off. So if he sold it off, how is the foundation still running? Right? It doesn't make any sense. So I think that in itself is a lie too. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I'll leave you guys to ponder today's stream, and that's basically, you know, I didn't want to talk so much about GameStop, but I think there's an important lesson here. And the lesson is, when you have a group of people that really believe in something, believe in a cause, and they will stick with that basically till the end of time, regardless of how foolish it may seem at the time, right? Doesn't matter what the technicals say or the fundamentals say, but when you have a group of people that cult-like mob mentality, that will really carry things and can disruptive things in a big way and in a good way. And in this case, shorters like Melvin Capital is learning that they should not be betting against the retail investors. And they may end up going bankrupt because of this, right? And that kind of mentality already exists in Bitcoin, and it's only going to increase. It's only going to increase. The reason why Bitcoin is around after 11 years, a digital currency that was created out of thin air by someone that's anonymous. The only reason why it's at where it is, $600 billion at $30,000, is because you have that same kind of conviction and belief in Bitcoin and how it could overthrow the banks and it could overthrow Visa and it could overthrow basically governments, right? That belief is growing, and it's going to grow more as time goes on. That is why the next explosive move is right around the corner. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of my future streams. I may have another one tonight. I may not, but that's why you want to follow me. All right, guys. Take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.